Yo, I'm back with it. I'm gonna try it again, man. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again. We're gonna do this one more time. Tap in, tap in, tap in. Yeah. Tap in with me. All right. Tap in, tap. Okay, it's looking like we cooking now. I'm gonna basically redo the whole video, the whole live. Cause yeah, it was a fail. I might need to go ahead and start give me a little stream card and do it on and just link up my MacBook to it and let the MacBook do the video stuff and I do the everything else on here because I think it's just having a hard time handling it. But yeah, tap in. Who here? Who here? We finna go. We finna get back to it. So I'm I'm actually kind of glad I'm redoing this. I want to discuss this a little bit better too. All right. So to begin, we got two track beat instrumental and vocals. This is a hip hop song. It's called Yeah Yeah from Yeah Yeah by John Leblanxx. And yeah, man, he did his thing on this. So John LeBlanc, a little bit of background on him. He is a mixing engineer and a recording engineer, and he also is an artist. And what I appreciate about him is actually I'm about to send John the link now. Um, I'm about to send him the live now. And what I appreciate about John is he understands what it takes to record clean. He understands what the engineer needs and how to help the engineer in the long run. So what he did for himself, he played the artist role and the recording engineer's role. So when in the industry, if a lot of us aren't familiar with how a lot of stuff happens in big studio labels and in the industry, when you get a session or when you go through a session, get it recorded, yada yada, comped and all that, by the time it makes to an actual mix engineer, all the edits and chops and these other special things are done. All the mix engineer has to do is add the sauce, maybe do a couple slight edits, maybe do a couple slight effects, little, and then add all the sauce and blend everything together. That's what the mix engineer does. They put everything together to make it fit together. Mix, get it? Mix, fit together. All right. So these roles are actually done by different people. Um, um, in light of the new generation of music creation, though, a lot of us engineers do all the roles: record, mix, master. Uh, we edit. So all those jobs that used to be different people are now one person, or they have been reduced to a couple. Um, so as you can see, this session's been chopped up. He's done a good job. And what he did for me was tell me exactly what he wants and where, and then I just did a couple creative things to enhance that. And that's what mixing does. So what I'm gonna do today is talk about how I did this mix and and how what hit John's work in the session, and then how what I did worked together as a whole. All right, so let's go ahead and take a listen to the track. I'll play to about 45 seconds into the to the next part because I want you guys to hear the way this sounded. Let's go.
I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah, I'm going on this medical. You playing, I'm dead to you. I'm so far ahead of you. I'm tired of telling you. Call me up when you ready to ride. Call me up when you ready to slide. I don't know if you lie. Don't mind making you cry. The mommy is Blanco, tomato, tomato. I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah, we smoking on VVO. My life is a video. I fall like.
Man, it's just such a vibe. This song, man. It's hard to stop. It's hard to kind of stop listening to it. So that's why I played a little bit more. Let me see. Okay, we good. We good on that. All right. All right. So check it out. Here's what we got going on. Hey, what up, Sean Keys, my brother? So couple things here. Things that I had, I ended up tweaking myself was in the intro, he had like a volume automation. I kept that, but I wanted to kind of enhance that. How do you do that and make it impactful? I did that using an EQ. And check this out. So that's really it. I just put an EQ with a high band on there, and I just automated the frequency location, and I automated the whether that thing was on or off. So by the time it gets to the end, it just turns off, and I can leave the EQ there, and then I can do whatever else I need to do within the EQ. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man, doing all right. So like as you can see, and that's why I particularly like the Kerhoff. You can you can do that in probably Pro Q2 as well, Pro Q3. But I just really like how I'm able to just I did what I had to do, did my little automation, and then cut it off. It was basically on, and so as you can see there.
I see how you acting.
Okay, and that's how I did that. All right, so now let's talk about the vocals. All right, so the lead vocal has NS1. Obviously, that's one of a gate / noise suppressor. Really good and surprisingly low latency. I'm not sure how they did this one. We got an EQ. This EQ was kind of what was done already, and what I stuck with. I probably did a little bit of extra here. I felt like he needed a little bit more presence, a little bit more excitement in his vocal, but I didn't do that in the airy end. I did that right here. This is what makes his vocals stand out and kind of feel like he's rapping rather than just kind of saying the line. Conceptually, some of these EQ moves are more conceptual rather than technical. If I want things to feel a little different, I would do these types of moves in certain places rather than making them sound a certain different. It's kind of a conceptual thing to think about. So right here, we know that 2K and 3K are kind of like some pain problem frequencies. But why is that? If there's too much, they hurt our ears. But if it's not enough, it sounds kind of boring, right? So I just increased that range by 2.5 dB to give them a little bit of life. So let's listen without it. I'm gonna turn all this other stuff off real quick. Boom, boom, boom.
Not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get act. We pull up, get act. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside.
jumps out. Yeah, you hear how his thanks, man. You hear how his voice kind of jumps out now. Now we're dealing with a vocal that's in your face, and not so kind of laid back. Even though it's a laid back track, I still needed him to be convincing. Now we're thinking about, is the voice or are the tracks convincing? That's how I mix. I don't necessarily mix with too much technicality unless it's like something. Yes, I do those things, but sometimes a lot of it is about feel. All right. Sadly, I had to replace Auto-Tune Pro and my saturator with Waves Tune, and it turns out I'm not sad anymore because Waves Tune actually sounds freaking amazing. Not gonna lie. In the original version, Auto-Tune Pro and Avox were my vocal effects for tuning and saturation. But what I've done for this live is I've found alternatives. So Waves Tune sounds good, and Spectre sounds good. So what I did with Spectre, I tried to mimic what the sound was on the Warm Avox Warm, and all I did was boost with a tube because it's a tube emulation, right? So I just boosted these slightly with the tube, and that pretty much gave me back my volume and my character, my tube character. So check it out without it. It actually sounds, it's another thing about whether it feels good or not.
You acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside.
It just makes everything jump out, and I love it like that. And then lastly, on the leads, we got EQ here. This was done. We didn't do any boosting. We attenuated up to 5. I don't know how many dB that actually is, but that's at 100 hertz. We don't technically need too much below 100. We left the Q sharp. We boosted at 16K to make it shiny, and we backed off about a dB and a half just to gain compensate. So check this out.
Yeah, yeah. How you acting? Not with no acting. Yeah, yeah. Shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting.
So the cool thing about these tube sounding things, a lot of people like the sound of tube paired with auto-tune. I don't know if you could hear the top end of that vocal. It's like now it sounds interesting instead of just airy. So the way tubes interact with, or auto-tune interacts with tubes, it just does that thing that the industry, people like with those industry sounding songs.
Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah.
I think looking back at it, I probably should have gone back and cleaned up some mouth clicks and voice clickiness. But in the grand scheme of things, it might just be me because I have like really high end speakers or whatever. So it could just be me. If I listen to it everywhere else, it sounds amazing. Not gonna lie. All right, so similar thing going on here on the second track. So these are kind of like punch tracks, and because of the way he structured the song, there was really no hook track. He just did it straight through and did it on certain parts. So I just left it as it is. There was no reason to make an additional track unless he had requested that I make the hook sound completely different than the verse. So it was like, me, I'm not gonna do too much. All right, so the reverb that I used here was Reverb. Where are you at? Reverb, great reverb. If I always say this, if you don't buy any plugins from Waves, and if you don't have any plugins, and you don't have any plugins from anywhere else, except the ones that are stocking your DAW, if you want a third-party set of plugins, get the Renaissance bundle from Waves. It is tried and true, and it has everything you need: EQ, reverb, compressor, vocal effects, bass effects, and I think some other stuff. But and it's only like $100 during Black Friday for everything. You could literally do a whole mix with just the Reverb alone. But as you can see, there's no pre-delay. I made it basically 5 seconds for the decay, and the size is huge. Diffusion is nice. linear decay. This was actually pretty critical for the sound of this reverb. I didn't want everything to sound too realistic or too, within this space, the church space. I didn't want it to sound like it was like truly bouncing off the walls. But what I did was make this decay linear, so it was a smooth decay. That smooth decay is what you're hearing in the back of your, in your ears. So let's hear how that sounds. Oh yeah, and then I also just kind of reshaped it to clean it up at the end. Never be afraid to EQ your reverbs, even though you've already shaped it. Why can't I hear it? No, just playing. I think I got it. I got it. Pre-fader. And it just sounds good with that particular setting. All right, next, let's go back up. So that was pretty much the effect part of the voice. And everything else, let's go ahead and talk about the ad-libs. The ad-libs were very important to the verse here. And a couple of times I had to make a creative decision. For example, this was up here in this section. So I had to make a decision where I was like, man, this kind of doesn't feel right.
I'm going on this medical. You play and I'm dead to you. Yeah, yeah.
He said that in his main part, but I didn't think it was necessary for it to be there. So I took it out of the lead, I cut it and put it down here in the ad-lib section. And what's special about this ad-lib section? Not too much, honestly. NS1, auto-tune, saturation, the same EQ minus I added, or in addition, I added this new EQ from Analog Audio. Oh shoot. This new EQ from Analog Audio from Fieldtech. And this is another tone shaping EQ. This kind of helped the ad-lib stand out. But what really made it saucy is this flanger. This flanger right here is actually really freaking great. So this is you get two different models. You get a 1979 model and 2009. I went for a more clean sound, and I didn't change too much. You can copy these settings. Nothing wild going on here. And I added ever so slightly a touch of saturation in there. And so check it out without the flanger.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so far ahead of you. I'm tired. Now with no acting. Yeah, yeah. Shooters get hacked. We pull up, get hacked. Yeah.
The ad-lib sounded pretty cool, but when you add that flanger on there, what it's gonna do is make it stereo track, number one, and then number two, is this Spectre stereo? I don't even know. Okay, yeah. Number two is gonna make it sound wavy and smooth out the vocal. He's got a not a raspy man vocal, but what this is gonna do is definitely smooth it out and give it like that wavy sauce, the underwater. You got that underwater effect, bro. That kind of shit.
I see how you acting. No. If we really outside, don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Yeah. I'm going on this medical. You play and I'm dead to you. Yeah. I'm so far ahead of you. I'm tired of telling you. Yeah. Call me up when you ready to ride. Call me up when you ready to slide. I don't know if you lie. I don't mind making you cry. Mommy is Blanco. Tomato. I see how you act.
So next thing is the demon track. He actually created this track, and what he had done for the effect was he sent this vocal to this low doubler, and all it is doubler 4 from Waves. And what he did here was just down the octave on all the ones, blending them in, and all I had to do was make sure that they was leveled. I didn't do too much with that.
We ready to slide. I don't know if you lie. Don't outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah. Shooters outside. Shooters outside. Yeah. We smoking on VVO. My life is a video. I fall like a Scorpio. Then I'm gone like adios. They sticky stay with me.
Some of these cuts I did myself. and I felt like it just needed to, kind of bounce with the song. So I just took the clap and then duplicated it, cut this to make it silent here, and then that's all I did. Oh, and then I just I actually reversed the rest of the beat back into the beat. All this was done with Audio Suite.
They sticky stay with me though. It's bigger than Biggie Ho. Killers outside, they willing to die. They willing to die. See how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah.
So another highlight on the ad-libs, I ended up using Melodyne in conjunction with autotune to tighten up these vocals here, because there are certain points when the ad-libs just weren't hitting the autotune properly. So again, ARA, shout out to Avid for implementing ARA, because this is actually a really great workflow. And the key to this is this: Melodyne happens before any plugins. So this will always feed the plugins. This will always be first on the clip and then feed the plugins, just like clip gain automation. Okay. All right. So, and then as you can see, just tighten those ad-libs up so they sound good.
Shooters get hacked, we pull up, get hacked. Yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, shooters get hacked.
The next steps that we set up an aux. We added some API compression on there. Not sure why it worked, but it worked on these vocals. It just sounds good. So check it out without it.
I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, shooters get hacked. We pull up, get hacked.
It really pulled them vocals forward. Added RVox. RVox did its job. A de-esser, NS1. I'm not sure if maybe this should have been like right there. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah.
There you go. That's really it. Got the reverb. Everything's going to the same reverb, same delay. All this is very simple. It's really just H delay, y'all. I got like 3 instances of H delay. Now this exciter. This was very crucial to the airiness of the vocals. We added a de-esser and a gate to kind of clean that up, and we added the vintage exciting, the vintage RO exciter from Aphex. That emulation, we put it on AX, so it only plays the excited signal. I drove the input, backed off the output, and just blended that into taste.
I'm going off this medical. You play it, I'm dead to you. I'm so far ahead of you. I'm tired of telling you. Call me up when you ready to ride. Call me up when you ready to slide. I don't know if you lie. Don't mind making you cry.
Added that extra little bit of oomph to the top of the voice. All right. I don't think we used this hook lead. This is all just part of the template. Let's see. We already talked about the reverb. Let's talk about the mix bus. Surprisingly, and actually not surprisingly, I did not do any bus compression. We see this bus comp here, but it was inactive, and I believe I don't think I own the Waves SSL bus comp anyway, so it didn't matter. So I particularly didn't really feel like this needed to be compressed. Regardless, there was enough space and enough dynamic within the song that it was unnecessary to compress it. But I compressed it in another way. So what was that? We used tube saturation, tube compression. Saturation is also a form of compression, which is bringing up the low level to meet the top of the peaks, or bringing down the peaks to meet to be closer to the low levels information, which is called dynamic range.
I see how you act.
That's what a compressor is for. That's what they do.
You acting, not with no acting.
So let's just go ahead and listen to the black box alone.
Yeah, shooters get hacked. We pull up, get hacked. Yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, them shooters
Sounds pretty good to me. I actually really like the alt tube better than the regular tube. A lot of people don't prefer it, but I think you just got to hit it differently. That's just my personal preference. I actually used the stereo width knob, increased that by 4%, and backed off the output as I did the saturation. You could copy these settings. This is real simple. All right. So once I've gotten that tone established, I ended up going to gold clip. And what I did here was pretty much, I even tweaked it today because I think the settings have changed since the last update of some plugins because it wasn't sounding right when I opened the session. But regardless, I've returned it to where it should sound good. And we've got gold up to 1.5 dB and the unity knob engaged. We've got the alchemy knob pretty high to kind of control the top end or the upper mid frequency saturation with the clipping. All these are on classic. Increase the output by over 1.5, and that's pretty much it, man.
I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah, I'm going all this medical. You playing, I'm dead to you. I'm so far ahead of you.
And there you go. That's what gold clip. It's just adding that little bit of fatness and a little bit of extra volume to the sound. Next, I got the Kerhoff EQ on the master channel, and all I did was knock down a 363 by 3.5 dB, knocked down 3100 by a little bit 3 and some change, and I boosted ever so slightly everything in between that by like less than 1 dB, and I'll show you what that sounds like.
I'm tired of telling you. Call me up when you ready to ride. Call me up when you ready to slide. I don't know if you lie.
Not a huge difference, but it definitely controls some of that extra mess in there. I can see this, and I think it's these, man. I don't know why I never turned them off. Oh, it might just been that one. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what plugin it is. Anyway, yeah. In the grand scheme of this, it's not that big a deal. Normally, people have their view at like this, so it looks like a crazy move, but it's only 3 dB. It's not crazy at all. Just to control that. All right, so check out the limiter. This is pretty much the only true form of like compression that I have on the master channel. That's why the mix sounds so open, is because I didn't particularly compress everything to be, within this particular range of dynamics. But you will see the dynamic range as I play this. Let's go ahead and go to a hook. All right. And so I did 3 dB of gain. I think we were already peaking at negative 3 dB. So I just added 3 dB to like meet and then some to get it to past 0, and then for the limiting to occur. So check it out.
Tomorrow. I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah, we smoking on VBO. My life is a video. I fall like a Scorpio, then I'm gone like adios. They sticky stay with me though. It's bigger than Biggie Ho.
The dynamic range stays between 3 and 5. That means there's not too much of a huge difference in dynamic range. The gain reduction went no more than 2 or 3. The trick is not to make the limiter work hard. So the clipping, the saturation, they all kind of did their part so that when it gets to the final stage, we don't have to smash the limiter and it still sounds like an open mix. I believe I could have even gone a little bit louder in the upper mid area just for, the sake of having a little bit more excitement in the song. But overall, the song it meets the target of -9 dB for LUFS. And that's pretty much it, man. As far as the the mix goes for that. Really simple, really simple. Uh, Very nice song by John Leblanxx. Again, it's called Yeah Yeah by John Leblanxx. I'll go ahead and play it, and I'll flip through the plugin so you can see what they're doing.
I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah, I'm going on this medical. You playing, I'm dead to you. I'm so far ahead of you. I'm tired of telling you. Call me up when you ready to ride. Call me up when you ready to slide. I don't know if you lie. Don't mind making you cry. So mommy is Blanco, tomato, tomato. I see how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah, we smoking on VVO. My life is a video. I fall like a Scorpio, then I'm gone like adios. They sickies, they with me though. It's bigger than Biggie, ho. Killers outside, they willing to die. They willing to die. See how you acting, not with no acting. Yeah, yeah, shooters get acting. We pull up, get acting. Yeah, yeah, we really outside. Don't play with your life. Yeah, yeah, them shooters outside. Them shooters outside. Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty much it, man. Y'all go check that out. Y'all check it out. And yeah, I found out what the noise was. It was from the API joint. I think that was what it was. Let's see. Oh nah. Oh, let me see, man. That's off. This one's off. That one's off. I'm not sure what it is. Not gonna lie. Oh wait, there's another API in here somewhere. There you go. This is part of the template. It helped. I'm not sure. I really don't care too much, but um so yeah, y'all check out that song. A really dope song. It's been out for a little while. Just wanted to revisit it because it actually is one of a really good sounding mix, to be honest. It really sounds good. Very clean, very straightforward. And I hope y'all enjoyed this. If y'all got any questions, feel free to tap in with me on Instagram.